new developments in the school and new things that we will be doing this term, things that we've done over the holidays, both in academics, extracurricular activities, and software that school would be adopting to make this year smoother for parents. In this meeting with me I am Tracy Jerry Ugwu. I'm the school development manager. And in this meeting with me is Ms. Ozioma Aniehe. So after this meeting, you can come to us at any time to ask us questions regarding the meeting. Of course, there'll be a question and answer section at the end of this meeting. So feel free to ask us any questions after the meeting. You can also type your questions on the chat, the meeting chat, so you don't forget them. Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about both already existing routines for our parents that have just joined us newly, and as a reminder to our old parents on how things regularly run during the term. So we'll start with talking about our daily schedule. So the gates opens at 7 a.m. So anytime after 7 a.m., from 7 a.m. and after 7 a.m., you can drop off your child at the school. And classes begin at 8 a.m. sharp. Because of late arrivals that we had last time, we've moved our school assembly to later in the day because children were missing out on assembly, and assembly is a very important period. So please, late arrivals disrupt learning, makes children miss out on important activities that help develop their whole well-being. So please aim to be punctual at all times. Afternoon pickup starts from Mondays to Thursdays, starts at 2 p.m. for children in nursery and at 3 p.m. for children in primary. This is because children in primary take part in extracurricular activities compulsorily. Nursery children are not expected to take part in extracurricular activities. On Fridays, school closes early for everyone. Everyone leaves by 2:20 p.m. The daycare closes by 3 p.m. daily. This doesn't mean you can't pick your child before 3 p.m. But by 3 p.m., we officially close the daycare. The daycare has a more flexible time. You can drop your child anytime from when school starts at 7, from when the gates open at 7 to 3 p.m. Due to requests from parents, we've decided to start an after-school care program, which runs from 3 to 5 daily, but we'll discuss that further in this meet. Please note that after-school care does not run on Fridays. Would also like to remind parents that only authorized persons can pick up a child. Would also like to remind parents that only authorized persons can pick up a child. So if you would like someone else to pick up your child, maybe a relative or someone that lives with you, would like to remind you that you'd have to drop a written consent off at the school alongside a means of identification for the person. Would also want to remind parents that it's also very important to be early when picking up your child in the afternoons. Picking up your child late will attract extra charges and penalties. This year, our timetable has changed a little bit. Like I said, we've started to move assemblies to later in the day. We decided to move assemblies to later in the day, and we decided to fill the assembly time with a morning work or morning activity time. Morning activities, this could be so many different things. Could be a time for discussion and introspection, for children to talk to their teachers, table their needs and their difficulties to their teachers. It also includes time for mental activities, mental math, quick tests, and other stimulating activities like newsrooms and the rest. Every day in class, we always make sure that the children have literacy and math sessions, because literacy and math at the end of the day is the core of all the subjects that we're learning. We also encourage play and exploration for both the primary and the nursery children, from science to playtime in nursery. We offer special subjects such as music, art, PE, and ICT that allow children explore other subject areas outside English and math. We've also included a class closing circle time where children can just relax and share stories with their teachers to build confidence. During this time, teachers can also work on those other values that you would like your children to develop while they're at Cornelia School. We also offer extracurricular activities to children in primary. This year, we're offering swimming. Swimming is a year-long activity, so we offer swimming throughout the year. We have swimming classes every Thursday towards the end of the school day, unless we can't go due to difficult weather conditions. We also have reading time where children learn how to read and develop their public speech. And we have music where children can learn how to play instruments of their choice. Would also like to remind parents about snack, lunch, and school meals. We encourage parents to always pack a healthy snack from home for their children and to please avoid sweets and fizzy drinks like Coke, Fanta, Sprite, and every other thing that has gas. These things aren't really healthy. If we find out that a child in the school has nut allergies, we might have to insist that parents stop bringing their children to school, stop sending their children to school with foods that contain nuts, to keep the whole school healthy and to prevent any medical emergencies. Parents can bring a packed lunch from home or pre-order school meals from the school. The school meals come in with different options. You can pay daily for school meals, you can pay monthly, and you can pay termly. If you're going to pay for a day that maybe you won't be at home for a school meal, please remember that you have to give at least 24-hour notice before you pay for the meal, or before you want the meal to be given to your child. We'll always share a menu with you when your child is eating in the school. This menu includes local and international dishes, as we are trying to widen the palette of all our children. Meals are also freshly prepared daily. Like I said earlier, due to requests from our parents, we've decided to start an after-school care program, as some parents feel that 3 p.m. might be too early for them to pick up their child. Now, after-school care comes at an extra cost. You can pay for it daily as well, or in bulk. And you always had to give 24 hours notice before you demand for after-school care. During after-school care, children don't stay idle. Teachers on duty will help them with their homework, play. They might do enrichment activities. The reason why we're charging extra for after-school care is because during after-school care, teachers have to leave what they're doing. They don't go home early. They have to stay here till later in the day to stay with your children and take care of your children, which is a very safe option, if you ask me, rather than just sending them home when you know that you won't be at home to watch over them. So that's why we charge extra for after-school care. Okay, so I'm just going to give an overview of the curriculum for this year. This year, the government has decided to make a little change, or a big change to the curriculum, which we 100% agree with. They've taken out a few subjects. Of course, we're keeping all our specialized subjects like religious education and world history. But yes, we agree with most of their changes. For the nursery section, we've always used the early years foundation stage curriculum, which is the national curriculum for early years in the UK. It encourages play and exploration, learning through curiosity and play, early literacy, reading, writing, early numeracy, personal and social development, which we think is very important and foundational for children at a young age. Creative arts and movements. For the primary, we've taken out a few subjects, including pre-vocational for the lower primary, and we're continuing with our other subjects in the way that we've designed the scheme originally. We have social studies, which has changed, but that change will be manifested because the change came a little bit too late. World history, geography, and the rest, just to give your child a fuller experience. You know, we're trying to develop global citizens that can survive wherever they go to, not just here in Nigeria, because we want our children to be well-traveled and to have a lot of knowledge. We're also changing our approach to homework this term, this year, and going forward. We would like children to see homework as